Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today, and well, it all started with this Reddit thread.
Oh, yeah, this one was interesting.
It really was.
Hmm.
The question was, what life skills did you realize you were just expected to know as an adult, but like nobody actually taught you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like this secret menu of adulthood we're all supposed to figure out on our own.
Right. Like, how are we supposed to know this stuff?
Exactly. Thousands of responses, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that it was blowing up.
It was all these unspoken expectations.
Oh.
And I thought the top voted comment really nailed it.
Oh, yeah, what was that one?
Okay, you ready for this?
Hmm.
It just said, you have the freedom to do whatever you want.
Wow.
It sounds so simple,
Right.
but it's so profound.
It is. It really is.
Because think about it. How often do we still carry those limitations from childhood?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Even when we're adults.
Hmm.
Like needing permission to go out of town.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Or feeling guilty about having ice cream for dinner.
Like, yeah, it's like, wait, I can do that.
Exactly.
I'm a grown-up.
You are a grown-up.
Yeah.
You can eat ice cream for dinner if you want to.
Well, maybe not every night.
Fair enough. But you get the idea.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like this collective aha moment, right?
Totally.
Someone in the thread mentioned finally ordering an ice cream cake
Just because.
just because they wanted to. No special occasion needed.
Uh-huh. I love that.
Another person talked about taking a sick day
Oh, yeah.
and actually enjoying it instead
Oh.
of feeling like they had to be productive.
Yes. Like really taking a break,
Right.
not just moving your work to the couch.
Exactly.
It's a mental shift.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's about recognizing that you have the freedom to make those choices,
Yeah.
even simple ones. It can be so incredibly liberating.
Absolutely. I think that's such a great point.
But, with freedom comes responsibility, right?
Oh, there it is.
Haha, always.
Yeah.
And that leads us to another big theme that emerged in the thread.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's the not-so-simple task of adulting,
Ugh.
starting with something we all face every day,
What's that?
figuring out what to eat.
Oh, the eternal struggle.
It really is.
Yeah.
The thread was full of people just lamenting,
Yeah.
meal planning, grocery shopping,
So much, yes.
even those who enjoy cooking.
It never ends.
It's this constant mental load.
It really is.
It can feel so overwhelming.
I know. Sometimes I just want to order takeout.
Right. And it's not just us regular folks either.
Really?
One commenter, a professional chef, admitted to struggling with meals at home.
You're kidding.
I'm not. It's like, here's this person.
Who cooks for a living.
Exactly. And they still find it hard to figure out what to eat at home.
Wow. That's kind of reassuring, actually.
Right. It's like this pressure to be a gourmet chef every night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just not realistic for most people.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's about,
Finding what works for you.
exactly.
Yeah.
And ditching that pressure. You don't have to be a culinary master every single night.
Agreed. Unless you want to, of course.
Of course, if you enjoy it, go for it.
But don't feel like you have to.
Exactly.
It's about giving yourself permission to keep it simple sometimes.
I love that. Giving yourself permission to be
Hmm.
kind to yourself in the kitchen.
And everywhere else, too, right?
Absolutely.
That's a good note to end on.
It is. We'll be right back after a quick break. And that feeling of being overwhelmed, it doesn't stop at meal planning.
Oh, no, not even close.
It extends to this other big secret menu item, I think.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Confidence.
Ah, yeah, makes sense.
So many people in the thread were talking about struggling with self-doubt, feeling like they're not good enough.
Mm-hmm. Like, where does that even come from?
Right. And a lot of times, those feelings, they actually go way back.
To childhood?
Exactly. One commenter talked about growing up in an environment where their opinions weren't valued,
Oh.
and they said it made them, hesitant to speak up or assert themselves, even as an adult.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like those early experiences, they really leave a mark.
They do. It's kind of heartbreaking to see how they can shape our sense of self-worth.
Mm-hmm, definitely. But here's the good news, right?
Okay, tell me something good.
Confidence, it's not something you're just born with.
Okay, so there's hope.
There is. It's a skill. Like anything else, you can develop it.
So true. I mean, I've struggled with confidence myself.
Yeah, me too, to be honest.
So what are some things like practical steps that you found helpful In building confidence, I mean.
Well, I think it starts with awareness.
Okay.
Like really recognizing those negative beliefs you might have about yourself.
Oh, yeah, those little voices in your head.
Exactly. The ones that are holding you back. And then, the next step is to like challenge those beliefs.
Oh, how do you do that?
Ask yourself, is this really true? Or is this just something I've been telling myself for years? I like that. Because we can get so stuck in those negative thought patterns.
We do. And we don't even realize it half the time.
So true. Okay, what else?
Well, then focus on your strengths, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Celebrate your accomplishments no matter how small they might seem. It's all about building this positive internal narrative.
Love that. Like being your own cheerleader.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think having supportive people around you is huge too.
Oh, definitely. People who lift you up.
Right. People who encourage you, who believe in your potential. That makes such a difference.
It really does. It's
Yeah.
like creating this positive, nurturing environment for yourself.
Exactly. And remember, confidence isn't about being perfect or never making mistakes.
Yeah,
You know?
that's so important.
It's about having the courage to try, to learn, to grow.
I love that. And speaking of learning and growing, there was another thing that came up a lot in this thread.
Okay, what's that?
Social skills.
Oh, yeah.
All those things that we just assume everyone knows.
Right, like it's just common sense.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's not that simple.
Nope.
There were comments about navigating authority figures, making small talk,
Yeah.
even like shaking hands properly.
Wait, really? Shaking hands?
Yeah. One guy, he shared that he didn't learn how to shake hands confidently until he was in his 40s.
Wow. That's kind of wild.
I know, right? And he was like, I wish I had learned this earlier.
Of course, it's such a basic thing, but, if you weren't taught it,
Yeah, it could feel awkward.
totally. And then you start avoiding those situations, right?
Exactly. Because you don't want to feel uncomfortable.
Which just makes it worse in the long run.
Exactly. It's like this vicious cycle. And those feelings can get even more intense when it comes to something like, well, finances.
Ah, yes. Money matters.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So many comments about feeling lost and confused when it comes to managing money.
I mean, it's a complex topic.
It is. But a lot of people, they leave school without this basic understanding.
Of how it all works.
Yeah, like how taxes work, how to budget effectively, even how to manage credit.
Right. It's like they just throw you out there and say, good luck.
Exactly. One person, they were shocked to learn that the interest you earn on a savings account, it's taxable.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, that's something they don't always teach you.
Nope. And it's with this whole other layer of adulting that nobody prepares us for.
Right. Like, it shouldn't be a secret.
Exactly. These are essential life skills that everyone should have access to.
I totally agree. And it wasn't just finances either,
Oh, there was more?
Yeah, people were mentioning all sorts of things like DIY home maintenance.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? And like establishing a cleaning routine, even learning how to advocate for yourself.
In different situations, yeah.
It's like this never-ending list.
It really is. It's like, okay, I thought I graduated from adulting school,
But the tests keep coming.
and they're pop quizzes. You never know what's going to be on them.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Hmm.
It's like adulting is this open book test, but you don't know where to find the answers.
That's a great analogy. And sometimes you don't even know what questions to ask.
So true. It can feel overwhelming.
It can. But I think, after diving into this Reddit thread,
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway for me is
What's that?
it's okay to not have all the answers.
Oh, I love that.
We're all just figuring it out as we go along.
We are. We're all in this together.
And that's kind of comforting, actually.
It is. Because you realize you're not alone.
Exactly. So what do you think? Are we ready for part 3?
Let's do it. I'm curious to hear what else you found in this thread.
It is. It's like we're all in this together.
Right. And nobody really tells you that.
They don't. It's like this big secret they're keeping from us.
The secret menu of adulthood, remember?
Oh, that's right. Haha. But, after going through this thread,
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
it's okay to not have all the answers.
Oh my gosh, yes. Permission to not be perfect.
Exactly. We're all just figuring things out as we go along.
We are. It's a journey, not a destination.
And that's kind of a relief, actually.
It is. It takes the pressure off.
It does.
Yeah.
Because you realize you're not alone in this.
Not at all. We're all stumbling through it together.
And that's where a community like, this Reddit thread,
Yeah. What about it?
it can be so valuable.
Why is that?
Because it's a space where people can share their experiences, offer advice,
Yep.
and just realize hey, I'm not the only one who's going through this.
Exactly. Shared struggles, shared solutions.
Right. It's like having this collective cheat sheet for adulthood.
I love that. A cheat sheet for life.
Exactly. We could all use a little help sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with something as complex as, well, being an adult.
Right. And that's what we're trying to do here as well, I think.
What's that?
Create this space for open and honest conversations.
About real life.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because, let's face it, we all need a little guidance sometime.
Absolutely. No shame in asking for help.
Whether it's learning how to cook a decent meal, manage our finances, or just, like, navigate those awkward social situations.
Mm-hmm. Or even just knowing it's okay to not know everything.
Right. And the good news is there are so many resources available.
Like what?
Books, podcasts, online courses,
Mm-hmm.
even just talking to friends and family members.
Yeah. Sometimes the best advice comes from the people closest to you.
So true. And speaking of podcasts, if you're enjoying this deep dive, well,
What? Don't leave us hanging.
we'd love for you to check out our main show, Voices of the Soul.
Oh, yeah. Come join us.
We talk about all sorts of things related to personal growth,
Self-discovery.
well-being, all that good stuff.
It's a fun time, we promise.
You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts.
Just search for Voices of the Soul.
And for even more amazing content,
What else is there?
be sure to subscribe to Shauna Pelage's YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. She's great.
She's got tons of practical tips and inspiring stories.
To help you live your best life.
Exactly.
So remember, folks, you're not alone on this journey.
Yeah, that's so important to remember.
Adulthood, it's a continuous learning process.
And it's okay to ask for help.
Or seek out guidance.
Absolutely. Well, that's about it for today's deep dive.
Wow, that went by fast.
It did, but we covered a lot of ground.
We did. We did. Thanks for leading this conversation. It was great.
The Reddit thread really gave us a lot to talk about.
It did. And who knows, maybe we'll do another deep dive soon.
Maybe so. Until then, keep on adulting, everyone.
The best you can, that is.
And remember, you've got this. We'll see you next time.